Hey everybody, Happy New Year. How are you? So good to see you. So glad that we get to spend some time together. So welcome to the first stream of 2025. I can't believe we're at the new year already. Where has the time gone? I actually just realized that I also started my stream on May 1st, which means I just passed an anniversary, which means it would have been 8 months, 8 months of streaming. Social media. So thank you so much for being part of the community, and I wish nothing but the best for you and your family in 2025. Let's make it a great year. This year is going to be what we decide to make of it, right? It's on us to make it a good year. So I hope that you'll put your best foot forward in 2025, and keep on growing in your community, keep on growing in your knowledge of data science, and we'll keep the community growing along with that. So thanks so much for being here. Let me know how your holiday went. How was your holiday? I had a pretty quiet holiday. I mostly just kind of spent it here at home, just trying to prepare for some of the things that I have coming up in 2025. But let me know how it went for you. Let me know what you guys did. Did you go out? Did you stay home? Is everything good with you guys? Let me know. Leo, I just saw your picture over on Discord, the 3 laptops. I'm gonna have to see which one is your favorite one after that. But yeah, so if you're new here, that's totally okay. We still get a lot of new users or new viewers. I got a lot of new viewers over the holiday, which I think was kind of neat. So if you're new, we always start off with what's known as our global roll call. That's where we ask people to let us know your city, state, province, country. Don't be shy. Just let us know where you're from. It's a nice, easy way to participate, nice, easy way to be part of the community. And most importantly, it's good for you to participate, how to be professional, how to introduce yourself in a professional way. Really, really important skill to have, believe it or not, in data science. After that, I give an opening note. Just kind of share an initial thought with you as far as different things that I'm looking around. And from there, I take your questions. I'm open to your questions for anything that you want to talk about. Sometimes we talk about data science, we talk about life, we talk about philosophy, goals, whatever you'd like. I like showing up here with no agenda. You guys set the agenda for me as far as the different items that you want to talk about, and we go from there. Okay? So let me know. But again, please let me know your city, state, province, country as an initial introduction. It's a good way to kind of just, add to the professionalism in the chat. We keep things professional around here, guys, okay? All right, so for my opening note, I got to tell you guys, I am really excited both about the new year because it is an anniversary, 8 months of doing this. But at the same time, the new year also means the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, which I'm really pumped for in case you haven't been able to tell by all my media about it. I've been up since about 3 a.m. this morning doing different pieces of content or prepping different pieces of content that I'm going to be pushing out during the week. I'm going to go pick up my credentials tomorrow. Check this out, guys. That's how big this show is, okay? There's so many people coming in. They get over 100,000 people. There's so many people coming in that they open the badge pickup a full 2 days before the media is allowed in and a full 4 days before all the other attendees are allowed in, okay? That's how big the show is. They have days that are just for badge pickup, nothing else. So I'm going to go do that tomorrow. So that's gonna that just has me really pumped up to be working on all this content for you guys, to be prepping all the things that I want to push out to you. So really excited for that. I'm also getting a lot of press releases, looking at some AI products, some that are good, some that are not so good. But really looking forward to bringing you that content. So I'll be pushing out my first content on that on Saturday. I believe Saturday is when I first have some content going out. And then you're going to see something Saturday all the way to the following Friday. So there's going to be a full week of nothing but AI, products, services, companies, all that good stuff, right? So looking forward to doing that for you guys. So keep your eye out for that. There'll also be a lot of other CES coverage, so feel free to check that out too, because I think it's an important year for AI, right? There's obviously going to be a lot of AI companies at the show, a lot of AI products, and some are just products at the show. So looking forward to all of that content with you guys. All right, so I'm already seeing some names in my chat here. So let me start. Again, please let us know your city, state, province, country. Let me know how your new year was. If you did anything special or anything going on in for you to start off the year. Maybe you want to share some goals. We had a great session on goals this past Sunday. So let me know. Let me know what you're up to. All right, starting from the top. Leo, my good friend Leo, one of our great moderators here. Thanks for being here, Leo. Leo says, good morning, everyone. Not even a year, and this is huge. Yeah, it's been, it's crazy that it's only a year, right? Excuse me, not even a year. It's only been 8 months. Thank you so much to everybody who supports my content. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I would have never expected this much growth in such a short time, but I'm just going to keep going. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Actually, Leo, to that end, I was looking at something, and I'm going to post this later on my social media, but I'm going to give you guys a preview just so you guys can see this, because I thought this was kind of neat. So I had this theory. So remember, guys, a data scientist is always testing, right? A data scientist is always thinking of data and things to test, right? So I'm going to use this as an example for you guys. I had a theory, right? Data scientists always come up with theories, data, experiments. I had a theory that the New Year's holiday is one of the few internationally recognized holidays, right? I mean, I know some cultures have a different calendar, but generally speaking, not everybody celebrates Christmas, not everybody celebrates Hanukkah, not everybody celebrates Eid, right? But New Year's is one of the international holidays. So I figured that there'd be a lot of traffic, a lot of social media, people on social media, for entertainment on their holiday. So I pushed out a little bit extra content than what I usually do. So here is what my calendar, give me just to refresh that. This is what my calendar looked like for this past week. I'd like to think I'm doing social media on a professional scale. But just to give you guys an idea of what a professional effort looks like for social media, this is what my content was like for the New Year's holiday, right? So Wednesday, yesterday was the New Year. But obviously leading up to it, I thought because it's the middle of the week, people are going to be taking Monday and Tuesday off, right? But for anybody that's curious, this is what it takes to push out what I think is a professional level of social media content. I did this over the past, really for the past week, right? I started pushing out Saturday, Sunday, and then you can see I have a lot more coming up because of a CES and things like that. And it's also the weekend, right? But I thought this was neat to look at because basically my theory proved true. I got a lot of new followers, a lot of content engagement over the last few days, which I'm grateful for. But data science can be applied to a lot of things. It's more about like the mindset that you're approaching problems with, right? What's the data I can measure by? Well, I can measure by subscribers. I can measure by the number of comments, things like that, right? Well, what can I do about it? Well, I can scale my efforts, right? I can push out hourly. I can push out every 20 minutes. I can push out every 3 hours, whatever the case may be, right? So anyways, I thought I'd share that because I thought that was an interesting way to kind of prove my theory correct or incorrect, right? But yeah, it's crazy the requirements that it takes for that type of growth. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there, but let me continue here with the introductions. Again, if you're just joining us, city, state, province, country. Rex, our good friend Rex, Happy New Year. Looking forward to learning more data science in this awesome community. Thank you, Rex. I appreciate you having you here. Rex, also one of our great moderators, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contributions, Rex. Hope that you're well out there in New York City. Um, Leo, I'm going to come back to you here. Mohammed is from Al Haiki, Yemen. Welcome, Mohammed. Nice to have you here. I believe you're new, so welcome. Glad to have you as part of the community. About his New Year's Eve, he says it was perfect. Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear everybody had a good New Year's Eve. That was, fun and safe and with family. So glad to hear it, Mohammed. For me, on New Year's Day, I went hiking. I did 10 miles out in the wilderness, out at 7,500 feet, 8,000 feet, which is about 2,500 meters. So that was a lot. I was a little tired after that. Ali says, I'm from Pakistan. Welcome, Ali. Nice to have you here. I'm pretty sure it's your first time. Anything we can help you with, please let us know. I'm basically here for you guys. So if you guys have questions on data science, maybe some of you have New Year's resolutions about improving your skills or becoming a data scientist or picking up a new skill within data science, right? That's what we're here for today, to kind of help figure out what you guys want to do for the year or anything else you want to talk about, right? I walk in with no agenda. I let you guys set the schedule or set the conversation topics, and we kind of go from there. Okay? So anybody else who's joining us, again, please let us know your city, state, province, country, and good way to introduce yourself, right? Good way to participate. And who knows, maybe that's one of your New Year's resolutions, right? Maybe one of your New Year's resolutions is to carry yourself in a more professional way, right? Act a little bit more professional around your colleagues, around your friends, around your classmates, right? You'd be surprised how important that is, right? Part of selling your idea, part of selling your algorithms in data science is, do people believe in you, right? People have to kind of believe in you to say, okay, well, we're going to let this algorithm take over, right? So that's why I ask people to do that. It's a good practice, good thing for all of us to do. Leo says, New Year's Eve was great and no karaoke, but did an overdose of desserts. Feeling like I need a detox. Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, Leo, let's be honest here. Doing desserts alone is not always healthy. So, did you do an overdose of desserts among friends or by yourself? Because it's kind of like two completely different things, right? Like if you overdid desserts because, like your friends were like, doing it too, like, okay, cool. But like, are you sitting at home alone with your own like big old apple pie or whatever dessert? I mean, kind of a difference there, right? So if you feel like sharing, let us know. But were the desserts alone or were they with other people? Because one's okay, one's maybe not okay. I actually went to bed early. One of my friends was telling me that they made it to midnight on New Year's Eve. And I can't remember the last time I was even awake at midnight, much less on New Year's Eve. I'm an old guy, right? So I haven't been up at midnight for a long time. I go to bed early and then I get up early. So Leo says, yes, of course. Me and GPT and Gemma too had a great time together. Oh my gosh, Leo. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not pointing fingers because personally, around this time of year, I love pumpkin pie. Right? So, have I been alone with a pumpkin pie during past holidays? I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? But yeah, I mean, I've been watching my weight a lot more since those days, right? But oh man, a dessert by yourself, that's a whole other ball game. Whole other ball game, Leo. Manoj, good to see you, my good friend Manoj. Manoj says, good morning, Sir Dennis and everyone. Happy New Year to all. Manoj from Bangalore, India. Manoj, Happy New Year to you too. Wonderful to have your support. Really glad you're here. I hope you had a good New Year's. I hope you had a safe New Year's. If you feel like sharing what you did on New Year's, let me know. Or if somebody wants to share their New Year's resolution, that would also be interesting. Which I don't know if a New Year's resolution is different than a goal. I guess a resolution can be anything you want it to be, right? But if anybody wants to share that, please let us know. But Manoj, glad you're here. Glad that you had a good holiday. I actually just realized something. Manoj, I know you're from India, and obviously we have people from other countries, from Yemen, from Pakistan. Are New Year's resolution a thing in other countries? I think they are, right? Like, I think it's only natural that people would say, "Hey, let me come up with a goal for the next year," right? For me personally, I don't think of them as New Year's resolutions. I like to do resolutions on my birthday, right? Because my birthday is kind of like, my personal year, right? Just as it is for you. So I typically don't make resolutions around this time. I make it around my birthday instead. But if anybody wants to share their resolution, feel free. Or this right now is the time for questions. This is a really good time for questions because I'm here for you guys, right? You guys set the agenda. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know if anybody has questions. Leo earlier mentioned Gemma. And I've definitely been wanting to do more work with Gemma. I haven't invested nearly the time I should in that tool. I got curious, and I think I'm going to download Cursor sometime this week. Or maybe next week, because this week I'm going to be busy with CES. But I think it's time for me to start looking at Cursor. I've hesitated to do that because I kind of like working with ChatGPT in a separate window. I kind of like filtering the code a bit first. But it might be time for me to start looking at Cursor because I want to start doing some more complex stuff that's purely AI written. So Gemma and Cursor are definitely on my lists for January. Definitely have to do that. Manoj says, yes, they do. I'm not sure about the execution of the plan. Manoj, are you talking about the execution of your New Year's resolution? I think that's what you're referring to, right? But the execution of the New Year's resolution is up to everybody, right? Because every resolution is unique, right? The only thing I would encourage all of you, and I know this isn't always easy. The only thing I would encourage all of you is that it is really important to make your resolutions public. Don't hide your goals. Don't hide your resolutions. There is an accountability that comes with making your goals public. So whether it's here on chat or with a friend or with your family, whatever your resolution is, try to not make it. Try to not keep it secret just to yourself. Nobody's going to know my resolution. It's very healthy to let other people know. So something for you guys to think about. Okay. Leo says we could fine tune Gemma together in a Sunday live. That would be fun. Ooh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Leo, that's a great suggestion. I might take you up on that. So Leo, here's the thing. Well, first of all, for those of you who don't know, Leo is referring to our Sunday tutorials. I stream Thursdays through Monday, but on Sundays we have a little bit more of a dedicated tutorial session. It tends to be a little bit longer, a little bit more instructional. I really don't take questions on Sundays. So yeah, something like this would be excellent. As a matter of fact, Leo, maybe we could do that this Sunday. I don't know. The thing is that Sunday is when CES starts. So I'm really kind of torn between maybe not even having a stream on Sunday. But at the same time, I know how much people enjoy the Sunday stream. So I'm kind of in between. Maybe that might be a suggestion for this Sunday, Leo. That's not a bad one. Either that or Cursor. But yeah, maybe we'll definitely have to do some fine tuning at some point. Thanks for the suggestion, Leo. Okay, so Adesh, I think this might be your first time here. So thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate having you here. Adesh says, good morning, sir. Adesh from Bristol, UK. Welcome. This year, my resolution is reading 2 research papers in AI, RAG, DL, ML, and implement one of them. How do I start and what should be my strategy? Okay. Adesh, I don't know. You're going to have to give us some more background. Like, what's your current data science background now? Right? I don't want to make any assumptions. A couple things in your message kind of catch my eye, but I don't want to make any assumptions. So let me know about that. What's your current level of expertise? What's your current interest, I guess, in data science? Because you mentioned quite a few things. So give me some more background, Adesh. And if anybody else wants to help Adesh, that's fine. But I need to think about this. Give me some more information, please, okay? Manoj says, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, guys, it's important to make resolutions public. Very important to have accountability, you know? Leo says, try to make your resolution using DevOps. I'm sorry, Leo, you lost me. I'm sorry, I lost the thread of the conversation. Or maybe you were replying to somebody else? Give me some more background there, Leo. Rex says, I do New Year's resolutions every day. Yeah, but you got to stick with them, right, Rex? Or what's that saying that if your overall goals can be accomplished in your lifetime, then your goals aren't big enough, right? So maybe they just need to be bigger, Rex. Maybe just need to, bigger. Because otherwise, if you're making resolutions every day, then my resolution is to eat a sandwich, right? I mean, that's not really pushing the envelope there, Rex. Oh, Manoj, this is wonderful. Thanks so much. Manoj says, I made 3 SMART goals by considering your instructions last Sunday. Wonderful, wonderful, Manoj. I appreciate that. You know what? I have received some really positive feedback on that Sunday session. And what's really funny is that some of that feedback has come from like my past colleagues that I've worked with. And they said like, oh, this is fantastic. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, haven't you used these before? Like, how are you a working professional and you don't know about SMART goals? That was kind of weird. But I've had a couple of people tell me that, like, oh, this is great. I wish I knew this. And it's like, I thought you did know this. But I've always used them. It's a good framework. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that. If you don't know what Manoj is referring to, it's on my YouTube about goal setting for data scientists, and you can see that session there. But Manoj, I'm glad to hear you made 3 SMART goals. I hope that you reach them, and if there's a way we can support you in reaching them, let us know. Okay. Leo says, I meant do you make resolutions for the new year using the Agile system, also used by DevOps? Okay, I get you, Leo. I get you. Well, no, but it sounds like Rex is using more of an Agile system if you're making them every day, right? Like each task is a resolution, right? Today's resolution is to take a shower. All right, I completed my resolution. Right? I mean, that could be like a story, right? Today I want to take a shower so that I don't smell bad. Okay, so coming back to our new friend Adesh. Adesh says, I have a master's in data science. My interest is in computer vision, and I want to expand my skills to Gen AI. My latest work was optimizing hyperspectral image analysis with tune-in free plug and play proximal algorithm. Okay. And then your question was start reading 2 research papers in AI, RAG, and implement one of them. How do I start and what should be my strategy? Adesh, I'm a little stuck here. I'm a little stuck because how do I say this? Chat, you guys know that I love you guys. I try to give you positive feedback, right? So no feedback I give you, is from a negative place, right? Nothing but positive, nothing from like positive thoughts in my mind, right? So Adesh, I gotta ask you, buddy, how does a person get a master's in data science, but they don't know how to start a new study strategy in data science? Because you're still in the data science realm, right? Because you're still talking about AI, you're still talking about machine learning, right? You're still talking about, RAG techniques. Like we're still in the same field, right? So how does one get a master's in data science, but they're lost in knowing how to study RAG, as an example? Because you want to know where to start and what should be the strategy. So I'm totally open to the fact that I may be wrong. I'm just not understanding it. It's early in the morning for me. I'm an idiot. I don't understand you. But like how? I'm assuming you must have had study projects for your master's, or maybe this is like a no thesis program, right? Because I know those exist, right? But like I should be asking you where I would start, right? You have a master's. So yeah, let me know, because I'm a little lost, guys. And if anybody else wants to, chime in, maybe I'm just misunderstanding the situation. I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost. Something doesn't feel right here. Is that crazy, guys? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Am I being crazy here? Vardan, I see you over on Instagram. For some reason, you're not on my regular chat. Vardan, we always ask people to introduce themselves, so let us know your city, state, province, country. Srushti, please let us know your city, state, province, country. We always ask people to introduce themselves, and keep the chat professional and all of that good stuff. Okay. So yeah, guys, coming back to Adesh, I'm open to being wrong. I would never, look beyond that. I could be misunderstanding a situation, but something doesn't feel right there. Rex says, "Come on, guys, keep up, will you?" Yeah, I definitely kind of. I think Rex is referring to the number of goals he has. Yeah, obviously a goal every day is aggressive. So good for you, Rex. If that pace works for you, good for you. Give me just. Gosh, guys, I'm so disappointed in Instagram. Instagram and their live content has been so weird the last few weeks. I don't know what's going on with them. Okay, so over on Instagram, hey, I am Harsh from Vadodara, India. Vadodara, India. Nice. Thanks for being here. I'm pretty sure it's your first time. Vadodara, India. I don't know if I know where that is. Let us know if that's north, south, east, west. I'm curious. Okay, so Harsh says, I'm a data analyst, want to step up in data science. Can you please help me? How to start, what to learn? Sure. So that's a really common question, right? I get that a lot. People who want to know, hey, I do analytics. I'm pretty good at data. I'm pretty good at data in general. How do I become a data scientist? So generally speaking, when I think of a data analyst versus a data scientist, the part in between is modeling, right? So Harsh, how are your modeling skills? Are you pretty good at predictive models? Are you pretty good at categorical models? Right? Like, let me know, because that's where I would start your studies. Because most data analysts, generally speaking, don't have modeling skills, right? That's the part that's missing from your resume. So how do you feel about your modeling skills? That's really important. So how do you start with that? Start with the basics, right? Start with regression models. Well, first of all, start with understanding what models are capable of and what they're not capable of, right? But let me know what you think about that. Harsh. But that's what I would suggest. Okay, so Srishti says, hey Dennis, I'm Srishti from Bangalore, Karnataka, Bangalore. Okay, cool. Welcome. Hope you're well. I'm not sure if it's your first time. I don't think it is. But hope you're well, Srishti. Happy New Year. Over on Twitch, we have Joe Darks. Hey, Sir Dennis, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Joe Darks. I think it's your first time joining us live. So thanks so much for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good New Year. But let us know what you're up to. We're asking people if they want to share resolutions. We also ask people to let us know their city, state, province, country as a way to introduce themselves. Keep everything professional. But let us know, Joe Darks. Lalman, our good friend Lalman from, I think you're from Nepal, right? I think you're from Kathmandu, Nepal. Hope you're well, Lalman. Happy New Year. Morning, Dennis. Thank you for the informative session on Sunday. Thank you, Lalman. I appreciate that. Yeah, Lalman, you're a little bit late, but we were just discussing that I have received a lot of really positive feedback on that session. People really seem to like that session, which, once again, guys, I'm telling you right now, anybody who tells you what people want on social media is completely out of their mind. They are lying to you. They don't know what they're talking about. The bottom line is that nobody knows what people want on social media. I thought that session was going to be kind of cool. Like, oh, I like this. Yeah, let me share this, right? I didn't think it was going to be 2 hours. We went over 2 hours. And I just thought it'd be fun to do. And my moderators will back me up on this because I shared this with them on Sunday, that type of session is just stuff that I know in my mind. Like, I don't prepare for that. Like, I didn't look that up. I just like I don't even have a plan. I just know what I want to teach. And I kind of just make my way along. I knew that I wanted to teach that, and I knew that I had the whiteboard that I could show things on. But I make the lesson and structure things as I go along with you guys. Like, I don't do any preparation. But I just thought it'd be cool to teach that, right? Just thought it'd be beneficial, right? That's me, right? I'm trying to give you guys value, right? And people really like that session. The video isn't doing so well, which is kind of surprising. But anybody who tells you that they know what people want on social media and what will work and what people will like, you just can't tell. You literally cannot tell. So all those recommendation algorithms, all that stuff, it's hit or miss. But I'm glad you guys liked it. If you guys want to look it up, it's on my YouTube. It's about goal setting and data science. I present a framework that you guys can think about. But yeah, Lalman, I'm glad you enjoyed it. The Sunday sessions obviously are something that I hope everybody enjoys and gets a lot out of. But glad you liked it. We already had some people who told us here in the chat that they're using it for their own goals. So I'm really glad to hear it. So hope you're well, Lalman. Lalman, we also invite people to share their resolutions if you'd like, or tell us about your New Year holiday. Okay. Rex, thanks for playing host over there on Twitch. By the way, Rex, we had a massive weekend or holiday, I guess, on Twitch. On Twitch, I think I had like 20 or 25 new followers, which is huge for Twitch, right? But yeah, a lot of people watched the streams I had over the holiday. So there's gonna be more people, Rex. Gonna be more people. The bird. We always ask people to introduce themselves. Let us know your city, state, province, country, please. Okay. That's the bird over on Twitch, please. Osama says, Osama, our good friend from Satat, says, hello, sir. I hope that everything is going well for you. My wish for this year is to be a year of success and happiness for everyone. Osama, what a nice greeting. Hope you're well too. Hope everything is good for you out there in Satat, Morocco. So Osama, the question back to you is, how do you define success and happiness? Because those are two different things, right? And they're two very personal things. How one person defines happiness is not the way the other person defines it, right? So what do you think? How do you define that success and happiness? For me, I've said that before. To me, somebody who's successful or like wealthy is somebody who owns their time and owns their location, right? They're location independent. So that's what I'm working towards. That's my definition of success, right? I want to own my own time, and I want to live anywhere I want, or I want to have the ability to live anywhere I want, right? So what's success for you guys? What's success and happiness for you guys? So let me know. Let me know if you feel like sharing that. Or Osama, just let us know what defines your wish for success and happiness. Okay? Shrushti over on Instagram says, Happy New Year. Your content is really helpful. I am grateful I came across your content on Instagram. Oh, thank you so much, Shrushti. Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of people find me via Instagram, and then they eventually kind of migrate towards YouTube because YouTube has the wider view, right? But I am grateful for Instagram because it's the first platform that kind of launched my followers. My herd of, is it a herd of followers? A gaggle of followers? But that was the first platform where I had a piece of content that went huge, right? So I'm also grateful for Instagram. A lot of people, do find me on there. But yeah, so glad to have you here. Let us know if there's something we can help with, Srishti. Everybody's on a different path for data science, but let me know. Okay, so Harsh says, Harsh on Instagram, he was asking earlier about data analytics or data analysis or analyst to data scientist. He says, you can say I'm kind of new into that as well. Okay, Harsh. So I'm assuming you're saying that you're also new to data analysis, right? So in that case, I would work on some of your data analysis skills, right? And the good news is that you can be heavily aided by AI for data analysis. And you can refer to some of my old videos, some of my tutorials on that, because in the Sunday sessions, we've done some pretty nice analytics strictly with ChatGPT. We didn't write any code. We didn't create any charts ourselves, right? We did it with nothing but AI. So your ability to do that and your ability to learn from that should be a lot faster than it has been in the past, right? So it's up to you as far as the oh, okay. Harsh says, no, I was talking about modeling. I have pretty much good experience in analytics. Okay. Well, if you're new to modeling, then you're new to data science, right? It's the same problem in one. The modeling part is the data science part. At least as I understand how your skills have been laid out, right? But the modeling is the data science. So if you can tackle the modeling, then you will be ready for data science. So for somebody like you, I have the Introduction to Statistical Learning book. I taught that over 8 Sundays. That's where I would start. If you have that analytics background, then that book should be achievable for you. Because it's a tough book, but it should be achievable for you. Okay. So I'm seeing more and more people join us over on Instagram. We always ask people introduce themselves, let us know your city, state, province, country, and let us know how you're doing. Okay. Guys, I keep on looking at my hair. My hair is terrible. Ugh. You know what? I don't have any product in my hair because right after this stream ends, I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to go for my walk. And then after that, I got a lot of things to do, right? It's CES week, so I got a lot of things to do. So I got to go get my hair cut. I got to go do my food shopping because I'm not going to be able to do food shopping next week. What else I got to do? I got to do a bunch of things today. I got to film some video. But yeah, my hair is terrible right now because when you go get your hair cut, you don't want to put product in it, right? But yeah, hair looks terrible on stream today. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so Osama shares, the success and happiness for me are fulfill your passion, make your family happy, and achieve their aspirations. Osama, do you mean achieve their aspirations that they have for themselves or the aspirations that they have for you? I'm curious about that. Let me know. Fulfill your passion. Okay, cool. I like that. Some of these can be multi-year goals though, right? Because fulfilling your passion doesn't always happen in a single year. Like for me, I know that it's going to be a multi-year effort for me to be able to achieve my own feeling and definition of success, right? Osama says both. Okay. So I know that this can be different across different cultures in the world. But make sure that you always stay true to your own personal aspirations, right? Your family might have aspirations for you, but they're still going to love you, right? They're still going to love you, even though you may not be exactly along their aspirations, right? Like, I'll tell you something, Osama. You're reminding me of a conversation I had with my mother many years ago. And I don't know exactly how it came up, but I remember that I asked my mother, what did you think that when you first had a son, because I'm my mother's only son, right? It's just me and my sister. So my parents have a boy and a girl, right? What did you think what did you want your son to grow up to be? In other words, like what was her aspiration or how she imagined it, right? And she told me, well, I wanted you to, be smart and healthy, but I thought that you'd be a politician. That's how that was her aspiration, that I would go into politics. Right? And I don't know, like, if that's for me. Like, I've been told that before, that I can be diplomatic. But that's not always good in politics, right? That's not always healthy. That's not what politics is always about, right? And I don't see myself as a politician. I'm a very interested citizen, and I keep up with current news and things like that. But just because that was my mother's aspiration and I didn't reach it doesn't make me a bad person, right? It just means I had a different path, right? And, she still loves me and we're still a good family and all that, right? But, just make sure you're true to your aspirations, right? Your family's still going to love you, right? And in fact, it's your mother's love or your family's love that can sometimes keep you from your goals too. And I got that from another video. There's a bodybuilder out there named Kai Green, who I know some of you in the chat know because he's from New York. I know I got some New Yorkers here. But if you want to see interesting videos, look up Kai Green. And he talks about that in one of his videos, about how your goals have to remain your goals. Because not everybody out there really cares if you reach your goals, even the people that love you. So he was saying how, if your goal is to have 20-inch arms, that's your goal, because your mother's still going to love you even if you don't have 20-inch arms, right? I definitely do not have 20-inch arms, but my mother still loves me, right? So like, make sure you're true to your aspirations and keep focused on your goals. So I'm not just saying that for Osama, I'm saying that for everybody out there, right? Because I have found when I carry these thoughts in my mind, I find them helpful, right? Because I love getting feedback from my parents. My parents are always going to give me positive feedback, right? That's not always good for your goals, right? Maybe you need somebody to, kick your butt every once in a while, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Family aspirations can be a double-edged sword. But again, I know that culturally it's different and all that, right? Joseph, our good friend Joseph, another one of my great moderators. Thanks for being here, Joseph. Late today, but Happy New Year, Dennis, and everyone. Happy New Year to you too, Joseph. Hope you're doing well out there in Tennessee. But yeah, it's the first stream of the year, so it's gonna be a good year, Joseph. Thanks for being here. Osama says, thank you, sir, for your assistance. I believe it's never too late to become a politician and eventually become the president. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know if it's for me, guys. I don't know if it's for me. So I've told you guys that I went to school in Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the United States, right? I worked for a trade association for the video game industry, right? That's basically how I paid my way through college. I worked in the video game industry. I worked for the trade association. And at that time, they were working a lot on particular pieces of legislation. So I've seen a little bit of how the laws kind of get made, the different people involved, the different moves that have to happen, right? I've worked in the corporate world, so I've seen the corporate government connections, things like that. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if it's for anybody who is like a normal person, right? Like, you have to have some sociopathic or even psychopathic tendencies to work in that world, to me, right? Like, you can't be like a mentally stable and healthy person and still do that work. Like, that's impossible, right? A long time ago, I saw this video by this professor. And the video kind of stuck with me. And he talked about how the reality is that a lot of people out there are doing like really terrible things, right? They just don't tell you about it. But when it's 3 a.m. and it's dark for everybody and you're sitting there alone with your thoughts and you can't sleep, it's because you're a terrible person, right? That's the reality. So I like sleeping well. I sleep beautifully at night, right? So I don't know, Osama. I don't think politics is for me because, the reality is I think a lot of those people, they take a lot of drugs and alcohol so they can go to sleep, right? Because otherwise, if you put them alone at night in the dark with their own thoughts, they're probably pretty terrible people, right? So I don't know. It's not for me. I like sleeping well. I like having a clear conscience, right? But yeah, it's just not for me. Not for me. But like I said, right? That doesn't mean my mother's mad at me or disappointed, I just didn't meet her aspirations, and that's okay, right? She still loves me. We still have a good relationship, so just the way it goes, right? Rex says, glad you have that level of sympathy, Dennis. I appreciate that, Rex. Yeah, people call it sympathy, empathy, right? You could arguably call it both. But it's just all you have in this world are you and the thoughts that are up here. That's it. That's the only things you own in this world. You don't own anything else other than like what's up here, right? And if you can't be comfortable with what's up here, you are going to have a very difficult life no matter what you do, period. Right? So that's it, right? If I want to know everything about you, just tell me how you sleep at night, right? Are you able to go to sleep and know that you don't owe money, that you don't, sleep around with people's wives, or you don't do this and that, right? Like, It's all in here, right? That never goes away. You know if you're a terrible person. You know it, right? You may put another persona out to the world, but you know if you're a piece of shit, right? That's just the reality. Osama says, I share your perspective, sir. Oh, I appreciate that, you know. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just an old man, you know, waving my fist at the clouds, right? But these are the things I've learned, you know. Just there's people out there that do terrible things just to have money or to live a particular lifestyle or whatever, right? But it gets dark at 3 a.m. for everybody, right? And you're either sleeping or you're not. But anyways, I don't want to sound like I'm just here to be mad at the world. It's just the way I view things. Just the way I view things. But coming back again, Osama, just make sure you stay true to your aspirations, not necessarily your family's or somebody else. Dennis is not the guy who likes social mask. He'd not be a good politician. Yeah. Yeah, the social mask is a good way to put it, Leo. I don't know if you came up with that or if that's like a known term. I've never heard that term. But that's a good way to put it, right? Yeah, those masks are crazy. Crazy. You know, I've seen it in politics. I've seen it in entertainment. You know, in the corporate world, right? But yeah, that's just, it's not for me. It's not for me. Garvit says, good evening, Dennis. Garvit, so good to see you again. Glad you're back. Garvit, remind me where you were from. I can't quite remember, but I know it's not your first time. But remind me where you're from, please. Leo says it's a known term. Okay, cool. Thanks, Leo. I hadn't heard that social mask term before. Yeah, I'm just not good at it, you know? I know some of you might know the you guys know I like Robert Greene. The book, his book Mastery, I recommend a lot. He also has, you know, his other book. What is it? Is it the 48 Laws of Power, I believe? Which I've tried reading, you know, like I get most of it, but some of it, you know, it kind of goes against that, right? It's kind of hard to use the laws of power if you don't have that social masking, right? So sometimes it is to my detriment. I get that, but yeah, social mask is a really good way to put that. Over on Instagram, I just scrolled down. Shrushti says, if I were your daughter, what are the things you would consider essential or must do in life that you would suggest or encourage me to follow? Oh, wow. Shrushti, that is an excellent question. If I were your daughter, okay, I'm going to take a stab at this question. So first of all, I'll tell you guys, I don't have kids, right? I've done a lot of mentoring. I've been part of like the Big Brother program here in the US, and I have a niece and nephew. So I don't always give them advice because I kind of leave that to their parents. But I do think about different things that I wish for them or that I would want to tell them, right? So if I had a daughter, what are the things I would consider essential or must do in life that you would suggest or encourage me to follow? Oh man, that's a tough one, Srushti. It's tough for two reasons. One, because I'm having trouble distinguishing what I would tell my daughter versus a son, because my advice would kind of be similar. But at the same time, I do think that there are maybe some daughter-specific things that I would like that, you know, aren't necessarily popular. So I might leave that one alone. But I guess what I would tell a younger person is One of the ways I've developed empathy and sympathy, as Rex puts it, is that I've been fortunate to travel. So I would encourage somebody to travel as much as they can, even if it's within your own country, because I know some people can't travel, but or have limited travel options. Go to the places where you can go, and understand that it's a big world out there. It's a big world out there with a lot of people, a lot of situations, and quite frankly, a lot of suffering, right? There's a lot of suffering in the world, guys. So that to me has helped me kind of understand, put my life in perspective, put my goals in perspective, my problems in perspective, right? But that's what I would tell you, that having the understanding of how big the world is and the other people in it helps you and your own understanding, your own sympathy and all that. I mean, I think that's the best meta advice I would give, right? That you have to get out there and see the rest of the world to understand your place in it. Yeah, I would tell that to my niece and nephew. But like I said, there's other things, right? But something to think about, okay? And maybe somebody else in the chat wants to give you advice, right? What would you tell your daughter? It's a good question, Shrishti. Thank you for that. Joseph says, yes, the 48 laws of power. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 48 or 49. You want to know why it was throwing me off? I couldn't remember if it was 49, because there's a 50th law of power, right? He co-wrote a book with 50 Cent, in case you guys don't know that. So I couldn't remember, wait a minute, did they round up from 48 to 50, or was it called 49 and then they went to 50 with the 50 Cent book? So if I'm being honest, that's why I couldn't remember, because I honestly couldn't remember if it was 48 that they rounded up for the 50 Cent book, or 49 and then they went to 50. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. Was it Rex? No, Joseph. Thank you for that. 2XD over on Kick. Welcome. We always ask people, let us know their city, state, province, country. So let us know where you're from. Okay. Lawman says, my New Year's resolution is to practice gratitude and work on becoming a good data analyst and gain deeper knowledge on data science. Basically, become a better data professional, as you mentioned. All right, cool. I like it, Lawman. So Lawman, start taking those components and putting them into that SMART framework from Sunday, right? Because you're describing a massive goal, right? So what are the components that make up that goal, right? So I love the goal though, Lawman. I think for everything I've seen, you're a smart guy, so I think you're capable of reaching it. So Garvit asks, is job hopping good for career growth? Maybe. How do you define career growth? What's career growth to you? I probably wouldn't have known this early in my career, but there's multiple ways to define career growth. So I'm happy to share it, but let me know how you define career growth. It just depends, right? It depends on how you view that. So give me some more details if you want, Garvit. Joseph says, I love that advice. I might also add, I would always ask a lot of questions, seek to learn constantly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Being curious is a very, very positive trait, right? Because you can't be curious unless you're thinking about things. And you can't be curious unless you have a good understanding of your own limitations, right? You don't know that, like you don't know that you're ignorant about a topic unless you're willing to think about it and say, wait a minute, I don't know enough about this topic, right? Like it's kind of impossible to be curious unless you recognize your own ignorance. And there's a lot of value in recognizing your own ignorance. Like what's that saying? You have to know what you don't know, right? Like you have to be willing to know what you don't know. So yeah, I love it, Joseph. Good advice. So Srushti, if you're still with us over on Instagram, I think Joseph also just gave you some good advice. Garvit says, I'm considering this purely from a financial perspective. Try not to do that, Garvit. You know, I've been given advice in the past, and I'm sure you guys have heard it before. Right? Don't do things for money. Right? Don't do a job for money. It's advice that's been given to me, and I've broken it one time in my career, and I totally regretted it. But I get it. I get it. For most people early in their careers, they want the money, right? I get it. So that's what might encourage you to do the job hopping, right? So everybody has different responsibilities, different ways of viewing the world. So I'm not going to tell you to not do it, but I think that generally speaking, it's a bad idea. You're going to grow your bank account, but that's not the same as growing your career. Because you asked about job growth, not bank account growth. So you'll grow your bank account, but not necessarily your career. There's a difference there. Hey, Mara over on Twitch. Welcome. We always ask people to let us know their city, state, province, country. Okay. So coming back to Garvit. So Garvit, growing your bank account is not the same as growing your career or growing your professional skills in general. For me, I would look for good leadership. Who you report to and what they're willing to teach you, what they're able to teach you, super important. That is going to lead to job growth and personal growth and all of that, right? So that's what I appreciate now. Like I said, I get it. People early in their career, they want the money. Okay, fine. But again, that's not job growth. That's bank account growth. So you would either have to change your goal or change your perspective of what it is that you really want. Because what you're telling me is you don't want job growth. You just want bank account growth, and that's okay. I'm not judging, right? Or what are the kids saying right now on TikTok? We listen and we don't judge, right? So I'm not judging you, but don't tell me you want career growth, because that's not what you're looking for. But if you want the career growth, look for the good leadership, right? Like nowadays, my perspective is that if I'm in a job interview, I'm interviewing them as much as they're interviewing me, because I want to know who I'm reporting to, who I'm going to be learning from, all that stuff, right? So that's what I would tell you, Garvit. Two different things there, depending on your motivations. But generally speaking, guys, try to avoid doing things for money. It's usually terrible. I did it once early in my career, and that's how I ended up working in Denver. Ugh. If you guys ever end up working in Denver, you've screwed up, right? I mean, I did that, and I ended up in Denver. Don't do that to yourselves, guys. Yeah, Mars. So let us know where you're from. We always ask people to do that to help the professionalism of the chat. Okay. Gosh, we've covered a lot of ground today, guys. Lots of good questions, and I appreciate that people are sharing some very kind of personal questions, personal goals, right? So really appreciate that. Okay, so Mara says that they are from Romania. What part of Romania? Let us know. Let us know. So Mara asks, what would you recommend to someone who wants to get into the domain now? Learn prompting skills. Learn prompting skills. ChatGPT can get you to your first working model faster than anyone can. Even the world's best professor can't get you to a working model faster than what ChatGPT can do. So start asking questions, start being curious within ChatGPT about developing models. That's what I would tell you. Mara says they are from Cluj-Napoca, the heart of Transylvania. Nice, very cool. Very cool. Would love to visit there someday. Romania is a country I've always been curious about. I've just never quite made it out to like, that portion of the world. I've flown over it plenty of times, but never actually stopped there. But welcome, Mars. Nice to have you here. Not surprising to see you over on Twitch. So many new followers on Twitch. So thanks for joining us there. Guys, last call for questions. Any other questions out there? Otherwise, I got a big day ahead of me. I got to go exercise. I got to go get my hair cut. I got to go do my shopping. Got to get my coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet. What else I got to do? I got to do a bunch of things today, guys. Oh, I'm going to film it. I'm going to film, the haircut, because this is all part of my CES prep, right? So I'm going to, do some content around that. Lots of things coming up, guys. So I know we have a lot of new people in the chat. So Sunday is when we usually do our tutorial session. So Maras and the other folks who are in here asking, they're kind of new to the field, start coming on Sundays, because that's when I do the longer tutorials. People get a lot out of those sessions, and they're definitely more instructional. So if you want to learn, that's a great day to come. And next week, a lot of content around CES. A lot of content next week around CES. Okay, so Garbit adds, I understand that focusing solely on the financial aspect might be a narrow way to think about a profession I'll pursue for a lifetime, but it's an important factor I need to consider. Yeah, I get it, Garbit. We all need money to live. I get it. And I know that I'm at a different stage in my career than other people might be. I can appreciate that. Just try to find a balance between, those types of goals and obligations that you might have for yourself, along with, you growing in a professional way. Okay? Because like I said, moving for finances is great for your bank account, but not necessarily for your growth, right? Like for example, just to give you a quick example, it's very, very hard to go into leadership and become a senior, get to like a supervisory role, a management role, if you're always moving around, right? Like if you're always moving before somebody gets a chance to promote you, then you'll never be promoted, right? So sometimes doing that moving always keeps you as the junior guy because you never became the manager at a place, right? So is that what you want? Like, that's terrible for career growth, right? So just keep that in mind, right? Like there's some practical aspects to it, right? All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you all for coming. I will be back again tomorrow, same time as whatever time it is in your country, same time, 1500 GMT. And then, like I said, Sunday we'll do a little bit of a longer tutorial. But really appreciate you guys having me here. I really hope nothing but the best for all of you in 2025. I think it's going to be a great year. Just keep on coming back. We're going to keep on learning from each other. Join the Discord if you want to keep the conversation going beyond the live streams. And otherwise, we'll just keep growing, keep learning data science. Lots of exciting stuff coming up in our field, right? It's a great time to be in this field. So as always, I'm concerned about you guys. There's craziness going on in the world. I worry about all of you. So please, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll see you guys next time.